Today I'm going to take a seminar presentation on the topic corporate scams with two examples of corporate scams. Now first let's discuss what is corporate scam or corporate fraud. Corporate scam or fraud refers to illegal activities undertaken by an individual or company that are done in a dishonest or unethical manner. Often this kind of business fraud is designed to give an advantage to the perpetrating individual or company. Corporate fraud schemes go beyond the scope of an employee's stated position and are marked by their complexity and economic impact on the business and other employees and outside parties. Now let's discuss the most notable two examples of corporate scam. Let's discuss first number one. In 1992 Indian stock market scam, or otherwise known as Harshad Mehta scam. The Harshad Mehta scam or 1992 scandal was the biggest money market scam ever committed in India. The scam of 500 crore. The main perpetrator of the scam was stock and money market broker Harshad Mehta. It was a systematic stock fraud using bank receipts and stamp paper which caused the Indian stock market to crash. The scam exposed in the inherent loopholes of the Indian financial systems and resulted in a completely reformed system of stock transactions, including an introduction of online security systems. Security frauds refer to the idea of diversion of funds from the banking system to various stockholders or brokers. The 1992 scam or Harshad Mehta scam was a systematic fraud committed by Mehta in the Indian stock market which made the entire security system collapse. He committed a fraud of over 1 billion from the banking system to buy stocks on the Bombay Stock Exchange market. This impacted the entire exchange system as the security system collapsed and investors lost thousands of rupees in the exchange system. The scope of the scam was so large that the net value of the stocks was higher than the health budget and education budget of India. The scam was orchestrated in such a way that Mehta secured securities from the State Bank of India against forged checks signed by corrupt officials and failed to deliver the securities. Mehta made the prices of the stocks soar high through fictitious practices and sell stocks that he owned in these companies. The impact of the scam had many consequences, which included the loss of money to lakhs of families and the immediate crash of stock market. The index fell from 4500 to 2500, representing a loss of rupees 1 billion in market capitalization. The 1992 scam or Harshad Mehta scam raised many questions involving bank officials responsible for being in collusion with Mehta. An interview with Montague Singh Aluwalia, Secretary of Economic Affairs at Ministry of Finance, revealed that many top bank officials were also involved. Now let's move on to the second example of corporate scam, that is Watergate scandal or Watergate scam. The Watergate scandal was a political scandal in the United States involving the administration of US President Richard Nixon from 1971 to 1974 that led to Nixon's resignation. The scandal stemmed from Nixon administration's continuous attempts to cover up its involvement in the June 17, 1972 breaking of the Democratic National Committee headquarters at the Washington, D.C. Watergate office building. After the 5 perpetrators were arrested, the press and the US Justice Department connected the cash found on them at the time to the Nixon re-election campaign committee. For the investigations, along with the revelations during subsequent trials of burglars, led the US House of Representatives to grant its Judiciary Committee additional investigation authority to probe into certain matters with its jurisdiction, and the US Senate to create a special investigative committee. The resulting Senate Watergate hearings were broadcast gavel to gavel nationwide by PBS and aroused public interest. Witnesses testified that the president had approved plans to cover up administration involvement in the break-in, and that there was a voice-activated taping system in the Oval Office. Throughout the investigation, the administration resisted its probes, which led to a constitutional crisis. Several major revelations and egregious presidential action against the investigation later in 1973 prompted the House to commence an impeachment against Nixon. The US Supreme Court ruled that Nixon had to release the Oval Office tapes to government investigators. The tapes revealed that Nixon and had conspired to cover up activities that took place after the break-in and had attempted to use federal officials to deflect the investigation. The House Judiciary Committee then approved articles of impeachment against Nixon for obstruction of justice, abuse of power, and contempt of Congress. With his complicity in the cover-up made up public and his political support completely eroded, Nixon resigned from the office on August 9, 1974. It is believed that had he not done so, he would have been impeached by the House and removed from office by trial in the Senate. He is the only US president to have resigned from office on September 8, 1974. Nixon's successor, Gerald Ford, pardoned him. There were 69 people indicted and 48 people, many of them top Nixon administration officials, who were convicted. The metonymy Watergate came to encompass an array of clandestine and often illegal activities undertaken by members of the Nixon administration, including bugging of the offices of political opponents and people of whom Nixon or his officials were suspicious, ordering investigations of activist groups and political figures, and using the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Central Intelligence Agency, and the Internal Revenue Service as political weapons. The use of suffix "gate" after an identifying term as "sins" became synonymous with public scandals, especially political scandal. So that's all I'd like to share with you all. I hope everyone understood. Thank you.